The humans will get replaced by the machine. It will be the machine who will be supporting the human. So we will be, I'm working on a LMS, that is line management system. So in that we are dealing with the machines, sensors, PLCs.
So even with Industry 4.0 software, is that the case? Are people moving from legacy to cloud? And what do you recommend?
So downtime is a very main feature,
Hi everyone, my name is Muskan Hingorani and I work in the digital marketing team at Wonderbiz. Today I have Saili with me here today, who is a senior software developer at Wonderbiz. She has over 11 years of experience and today she is here to share her experience with us. So hi Saili, how are you doing today?
Yeah, hi Muskan, I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing good too, thank you. So tell us about your journey. How has your 11 years journey been? What all have you learned? And what got you into software engineering in the first place?
Okay, so as we came out of the college, we had a curiosity, we used to use the smartphones, so the apps which are working on the mobiles. So I was quite curious on that, like how these apps basically works, what are the behind the scene, how they manage the data, how these guys are showing. Also related to the websites, if you say, like we can just search on the online, we can buy anything if you want. So that how this software basically works, that curiosity came into my mind. So that drew me into this field to develop the softwares, to solve the problems, to
Okay, that's nice. So, how has your journey been? And if you were a fresher Saili today, what would you guide her or what would you tell her the skill that is very important to learn? And what did you also learn like?
Okay, so as a full stack developer, I basically work in the both field, like the front end and the back end.
Okay.
So as a fresher, initially I wasn't new in the field, so I don't know what exactly the software basically solve the problems, what it is capable of solving the problem, what are the steps to resolve the issues. So I learned that step by step in my career. Also, as an initial level, I was into the logical thinking. Like if you go on the, if any in a life, in real life also, if I came across any issue or any problem, I think firstly by the logic, like how we can solve, I can tackle that issue. So the same thinking I used to do in software also. So the problem solving things, the logic building, that is the skill set I had from my personal life into the my professional life.
Okay.
So
So that has helped you in your journey.
Yeah.
That's nice. Which is the tech stack that you have learned and why did you choose your expertise in that tech stack specifically? So since you are full stack, so guide me through both front end and back end.
Okay, so as I worked on as a full stack developer, I had worked on various technologies. Like I had started from the VB.NET, then I had moved to the ASP.NET, ASP.NET MVC. Then I had nowadays I am working on the ASP.NET Core. On the front end side, I had worked with the HTML, then the Angular part. Also for the backend side, I had worked on the databases like SQL Server, then Postgres, and MongoDBs. Yeah, so these many technologies I had learned in my career.
Okay.
So why I choose, like .NET is basically a strong framework which will help us to build the enterprise application with the performance and the security measures.
Okay.
Yeah, and the SQL basically integrates wellly with the .NET. So to handle the large data set, to perform the complex query, it is very much useful to use the SQL. And as talking about the Azure DevOps, it basically it helps to build the entire development lifecycle. Like we used to have the CI/CD, version controlling, then the code review part.
And which is the tech stack that has been helping you with Industry 4.0 software majorly? Because here the data set would have been even more heavier, and since your expertise is mostly into backend, like at least with Industry 4.0, so which do you think is the software that has helped give you a better output overall?
Okay, so like I am now working in the Industry 4.0, so it basically deals with the real-time data, the data coming out from the machines. We need to do a multiple calculation, so it is quite time consuming. So handling that much of size of data, so we used to have the SQLs, so to maintain a large data set, as I said. Also, it resolves the complex queries very quickly to increase the performance of the application. Then I'm working with the ASP.NET Core API. So these APIs basically are loosely coupled. So it is very useful if we wanted to adapt in a future. So that is also a help to me. Yeah.
That's nice. So, Sandy, guide us through in the Industry 4.0 tech softwares that you have been working with, and how has your domain expertise helped you in that?
So I'm working on a LMS, that is line management system. So in that we are dealing with the machines, sensors, PLCs. So from that we are getting a data, like the real data. We are working on that data. We are doing a processing on over that data. So in that data we are having the machine statuses, how the production line is working on the station, for each station, what is the status of my order, what are the downtimes. So downtime is a very main feature, like because of that downtime the performance of the station gets decreased. So identifying the downtimes, providing solution to reduce that downtime. So we are dealing with that things. Also we provide the dashboards, then analytics on the production lines. So these much data we basically provide to the end user. Like you can say that LMS is a digital backbone for any production line, which also supports the Industry 4.0 features like automation, efficiency. Yeah.
That's nice. It's a very niche data that you're dealing with, because factory data can be very varied and there are a lot of assets, and because of that the data is also very specific. So how do you manage that? And also because of course before developing you wouldn't have the real-time data. So how do you then like get equipped to that after like facing the real data? Like you would probably practice on the dummy data first and then move on to real data, right? So how do you manage that gap?
Yeah, so like I said, we used to work on the real-time data. So while doing a development, we don't have that much of data on on our SIT or the UAT environment. So that is one of the challenge we faced during our development. So we used to take the dummy data, or else we used to take the data from the production for any of the line to have the data set of that particular thing. Then we used to do a performance observation, like after doing a development, whether the performance is of that particular feature is get improved or not. Then doing a logging part, like if we came across anything error, so we should have the logs of that particular error set, so that in future or while doing a development also we can just resolve that things. Yeah.
So since you're dealing with softwares which are getting factory data, and now this factory data can always get scalable, right? So if today they are like doing 10 orders, it could be 50, for example. Obviously it is at a way higher number, but I'm just saying for the sake of an example. So how do you deal with that? How do you make sure that your software is compatible and it can be scalable easily? You won't have problems when you have to scale it and when the production lines increase with their manufacturing and so on.
Okay, so scalability is one of the critical features of Industry 4.1, as we need to deal with the real-time machine data, then the high-frequency events. So we need to use the code basically, which will be scalable. So in future, if any new addition is there, we will be easily going to implement that thing. To have this, we basically use the asynchronous programming. We are using a background processor to offload the load when the production data is like it is high. So on the database side, we use indexing, partitioning, also the optimizing of the query we perform, so that if the data size also increase, it won't be hampering the performance of our application.
So now that you're working with Industry 4.0 softwares, right, how do you make sure that they're adaptable to say new APIs or other softwares that they would be integrated with in the long run?
Yeah, so adaptation is one of the key features for the Industry 4.0, and as the world is evolving, we will need to deal with the evolved machines. Then the protocols get changed, so the code won't get hampered because of that. So we need to use the code. We need to develop the application accordingly. So we used to follow the modularity, like we design the the application or the architecture of our application is kind of that. So we used to have the interfaces, then the dependency injection. These basically makes the application loosely coupled. So in future, if anything new came across, we don't need to do the changes for the whole application. We just need to adapt that things in our application, and then we can build that thing also.
Okay, that's nice. Especially it would be way more harder because it is based on a lot of real-time data, and the amount of data that you would get would be like a lot.
Okay, yeah, right. So also we used to have the configuration driven features, like we used to take the protocols of the machine, then the machine related workflow. We used to keep it aside. So if that won't get impacted if we wanted to adapt a new protocol or a new machine. So we just need to do the changes on that configuration driven feature. So that the deployment won't be needed. We just need to do the configuration changes on the back end or the config file here.
Okay, that's nice. As we know that everything is moving towards cloud, right? In all the softwares that we know are now turning towards cloud to make it easier to save, store, and so on. So even with Industry 4.0 softwares, is that the case? Are people moving from legacy to cloud? And what do you recommend is the better option?
So now also I have worked on one of the legacy applications. So we are also revamping that into the cloud.
That's nice.
Okay. Yeah, because with old technologies, we used to compromise on the performance of application. We won't be adaptable to new features. So by moving out to the cloud, we can do that. Like the performance of the application get improved. We can adapt the new technologies. We can now have the data, and the UI section is also gets improved. The user experience also gets better by using the new technologies. Yeah. So we are also moving towards the cloud.
Okay. So you would also recommend that that's a better option.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, that's nice. So everything is moving towards cloud now.
Right.
That's nice. So Sandy, as I know that you're a full stack developer and you also have a lot of business knowledge. So it's like a best mix of both the worlds, right? So how do you make sure that the changes that you're making to the software are actually improving the product? It's not just like you're doing it and then it's like up to them how to go about it. How are you making sure that yes, it has actually improved the product? How do you cross-verify it? And if you have any tips and tricks to share.
So like I earlier said, that industry is evolving. So yeah, we came across new requirements as well. So how we tackle that thing. So firstly, we'll do the analysis what the real requirement is, that how it will be improve the performance of application. Is it necessary or not? If it is not, we used to take we used to discuss that thing with the customer, whether this will be the helpful or not. Like we also provide our thoughts into that thing, because as we develop the application, we are very much sure, like if we implement this thing, it will be better or not. So we used to discuss the requirements as well. So, and after the deployment or after the development, we basically have the testing part. Like we used to test these scenarios. We are having a different servers, the staging servers. So to check about the performances of the application, we used to deploy the development in the staging multiple staging services. Whether it is hampering the performance or not. Then we used to have the logs of the particular thing. If we came across any warning that is on the production side, and we won't be able to identify that thing, so we used to take the logs. So analyzing the logs, we can come across like whether it is working or not. If we came across any error, then we will be having the log, like if in this particular scenario we are having the logs. Yeah, so these things we basically do after the development thing, like it is better performing or it is not. So also the query optimization part is there. So we used to check the previous data and the new data, like whether the performance of that particular query is get improved or not. So by basis on that, we concluded that the product is better now.
That's nice. So you help to get the mix of both worlds, and also a lot of times they probably wouldn't know the things that can be done, which you on the execution and would know, okay, this can also be done, and maybe you can give better ideas to them regarding.
Yeah, so as we develop the application, we know in detail of the system, like the front end as well as the back end. So if the requirement came in one way, we can just modify the requirements, or we can suggest the thing, like we can, if we do it in this way, that the performance of the application get improved. So we also provide insights from our side to the customer.
That's great. That is why I feel we are the
solution provider.
yeah, the solution providers, and also partners in sense, not just we don't just get you the developers, we also give you the partner feel, because we are able to help you with the product from the spec and design phase itself. Because of the expertise we have, because of people like you, we can give them the best of both the worlds. So that's nice. So now that you have helped us understand a lot that what all goes behind developing a Industry 4.0 software project, I would like to ask you, what is the mindset that anyone new who's entering in this industry should have while working on any Industry 4.0 software projects?
Yeah, so if anyone new is coming into this domain, so they should have the mindset of reliability, stability, and also the attention to the details. As we deal with the real-time data, real production lines, we are dealing with the real-time data, the production line data. So developers should think of the stability, or the security, and also the accuracy. So in short, we can say that they should have the mindset. They just don't want it to do the work. They wanted to have how their work will have the impact on the product. So they should think on that perspective, not just in terms of the working on any application. They need to have the mindset that it should have some impact on the product.
Okay, so they should think like long term and like through the end of the cycle, not just their part of the cycle.
Yeah, so out of box they should think.
And they have to be very careful about what their end impact would be, not just what they are coding for that meanwhile.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's great. That was like, I learned a lot from you, and I'm pretty sure our viewers also did. On an ending note, I would like to ask you one last question. That now that Industry 5.0 is approaching, how do you think that you're ready for it, and are you like getting excited to work within Industry 5.0?
So yeah, in Industry 5.0, it is not like that the humans will get replaced by the machine. It will be the machine who will be supporting the human. So we will be working in hand with the machines. So AI is nowadays very in much talk. So the AI driven applications will be there. So adaptability, it will be very quickly. So the systems will be adaptable very quickly. Also the data driven dashboards, we will be having a more accurate data sets, and the dashboards also gets improved in this particular new 5.0 industry. Yeah.
So are there any specific tech stack that you think would help you in the Industry 5.0? Because by now we have understood the mindset and the skill set that you would need for that, but I would like to just highlight one more, that is the tech stack. Which do you think would be more capable with Industry 5.0?
Yes, so I think I can work with new technologies, like AI is there. So everything is now AI integrated. So AI is also taking much involvement in the software industry. So we can work on the AI. Then machine learning is also there, as industry also deals with the machine. So machine learning things is also very helpful for the future perspective. Yeah.
That's nice. So thank you, Saili. Thank you for taking the time out and answering our questions here today. I have learned a lot from you today, and I'm pretty sure our viewers have learned a lot as well. So if you have any questions from Saili, make sure to comment them below. I will make sure to answer as many of them as possible. So thank you, Saili, and thank you, viewers, for your time. I hope you all have a good day today.
Yeah, same here. Thank you, Muskan. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.